Top tips for professional speakers. Put your best foot forward every time. One of the reasons that many people fear taking the podium is because they are afraid of being the focal point of everyone's attention and they don't want to make a fool of themselves. There are several things you can do to foolproof your speaking event so that you present well every single time. I'm going to share with you 10 tips how to be a professional speaker. Take the time to prepare well for your presentation. Preparation enhances your confidence and is also an important opportunity to refine any weak areas in your presentation. Imagine you are a business consultant who has been asked to deliver a keynote speech at a prestigious industry conference. You have been given a 45-minute slot to share your insights and recommendations with an audience of several hundred professionals. Without proper preparation, you might feel nervous and uncertain about your ability to deliver a compelling presentation. You might worry that you will forget important points or stumble over your words. As a result, you might come across as unpolished or unprofessional, and you might fail to connect with your audience. However, if you take the time to prepare well, you can feel confident and prepared to deliver a high-quality presentation. You can refine your key message, organize your thoughts, and practice your delivery. You can also identify any weak areas in your presentation and work to improve them before you take the stage. As a result, when you deliver your keynote, you come across as polished, professional, and engaging. Your audience will be more likely to connect with your ideas and take action based on your recommendations. If you feel proud of the work you put in to deliver a successful presentation, begin and end your presentation on time. Arriving late to your presentation is simply not professional. Not to mention that it won't win you any points with a crowd. Also, speaking over time shows your audience that you don't value their time. If you arrive late to your presentation, you make a poor first impression on your audience. They may feel disrespected or frustrated that they have had to wait for you. Additionally, starting late may mean that you have less time to deliver your key messages and answer questions, which could lead to a less successful outcome. On the other hand, if you start and end your presentation on time, you demonstrate professionalism and respect for your audience time. You show that you are organized, prepared, and reliable. This can help to bring trust and credibility with your stakeholders, which can be especially important if you are seeking their support or approval. In addition, if you speak over time, you risk losing your audience attention and respect. They may become impatient or disengaged if they feel like you are not valuing their time. By staying within your allotted time, you show that you are respectful of their schedules and priorities, and you increase the chances that you will stay engaged with your presentation from start to finish. Know your audience. The only way you can really relate your audience is if you know who they are. Profile your audience. Are they male or female? What income bracket are they in? Why would they attend your presentation? Before you begin your presentation, it's important to know who your audience is and what their needs and interests are. If your potential clients are primarily female, you might want to highlight how your product may make their lives easier or more convenient. If they are in a higher income bracket, you might emphasize the value and quality of your product rather than its affordability. In addition, it's important to understand why your audience would attend your presentation in the first place. Are they looking for a specific solution to a problem they are facing? Are they curious about your product or service and want to learn more? By understanding their motivations and priorities, you can tailor your presentation to address their specific needs and interests. By profiling your audience and tailoring your presentations accordingly, you can increase the chances that your message will resonate with them and that they will be more likely to take action based on your recommendations. You show that you understand your needs and priorities and that you are committed to delivering value and results. Dress appropriately for your audience. Not all speaking engagements require a business suit. There are many places where business casual attire has become the norm. Before your audience even hears your messages, they are already sizing you up, and this is impacting whether or not they are hearing what you have to say. Imagine you are a motivational speaker who has been invited to deliver a keynote address at a youth conference. Your audience is made up of high school students who are interested in pursuing careers in entrepreneurship and innovation. When it comes to your attire, you need to consider the expectations and norms of your audience. In this case, wearing a traditional business suit might be too formal and off-putting to the students. Instead, you might opt for business casual attire that is still polished and professional, but also approachable and relatable. By dressing appropriately for your audience, you can help to establish a connection and build rapport with them. You show that you understand their values and interests, and that you are committed to meeting them on their level. This can help to create a more receptive and engaged audience, which can lead to a more successful presentation overall. On the other hand, if you were to dress in a way that is too formal or out of sync with your audience expectations, you risk creating a barrier between yourselves and your listeners. They may feel less connected or less interested in what you have to say, simply because they don't feel like you are relatable or approachable. Have a backup plan for visual aids used in your presentation. You selected to use visual aids because you thought they might be helpful in getting your message across. What happens when laptops fail or the room cannot accommodate presentations equipment? Create a plan on how you would handle a situation like that. Imagine you are a marketing manager who has been asked to present a new product launch strategy to a group of senior executives. You have prepared a PowerPoint presentation with visual aids to help you illustrate your key points. However, on the day of your presentation, you arrive to find that the conference room you have been assigned doesn't have the necessary technology to run your presentation. Or perhaps the laptop you have brought with you fails to connect to the projector. In either case, you left without your visual aids, and you are facing a room full of skeptical executives. To handle a situation like this, it's important to have a backup plan in place. This might involve printing out hard copies of your presentation materials, or bringing along physical props that can help illustrate your key points. You might also consider using a whiteboard or flip chart to sketch out your ideas and create a visual aid on the fly. By having a backup plan, you can maintain your composure and professionalism, even in the face of unexpected technical difficulties. You show that you are adaptable and resourceful, and that you are committed to delivering a successful presentation no matter what challenges arise. And most importantly, you'll be able to effectively communicate your key messages to your audience, even without the benefit of visual aids. Tone down information overload. Yes, you can overload your audience with too much information. And if you're not careful, you lose them. They are mentally checked out. As a speaker, you want to present enough information that hooks them into getting more information from you. Imagine you are a software developer who has been asked to present a new software application to a group of potential users. You spent months developing the applications, and you are excited to share all the features and functionality with your audience. However, if you overload your audience with too much technical jargon and features details, you risk losing their attention and interest. They may become overwhelmed or confused by the sheer volume of information, and they may mentally check out before you had a chance to fully engage with them. To avoid information overload, it's important to focus on the key points and benefits of your product. You might highlight the most important features and demonstrate how they can be used to solve common problems or improve workflows. You might also use anecdotes or case studies to illustrate the real-world impact of your software. By toning down the amount of information you present, you can help your audience to stay engaged and focus on the most important aspect of your product. You show that you understand their needs and priorities, and that you're committed to delivering value and results. And you will increase the chances they will be more interested in learning more about your software and potentially becoming customers or advocates. Don't use inappropriate humor. Humor can be a tricky thing working for you or against you. You will really have to know your audience in order to use jokes or humor appropriately. As a professional speaker, you may be tempted to use humor to engage your audience and make your message more memorable. However, it's important to remember that what may be funny to one person or group may be offensive or inappropriate to another. For example, if you are speaking to a corporate audience, you may want to avoid using edgy or controversial humor that could be perceived as insensitive or offensive. Similarly, if you are speaking to an international audience, you may need to be mindful of cultural difference and avoid jokes that could be misinterpreted or misunderstood. In general, it's important to know your audience and understand what types of humor will resonate with them. You may want to do some research beforehand to learn about their backgrounds, interests, and sense of humor. You might also consider testing out your jokes or humorous anecdotes with a trusted colleague or friend before including them in your presentation. By avoiding inappropriate humor and tailoring your humor to your audience, you can increase the chances that your message will be well received and that your audience will be engaged and receptive. You show that you are professional, respectful, and mindful of their needs and preference. And you'll be more likely to achieve your speaking goals, whether that's to educate, motivate, or inspire your audience. Varying your speech tones. The monotonous speakers will lose their audience within the first 15 minutes. It's okay to be animated during your presentation, and in fact, doing so will transmit flair, passion that keeps people engaged in your message. Imagine you are a sales representative who has been asked to present a new product or a group of potential clients. Your goal is to persuade them to make a purchase by highlighting the key benefits and features of your product. If you deliver your presentation in a monotone voice, you risk losing your audience's attention and interest. They may become bored or disengaged, and they may tune out before you had a chance to make your case effectively. On the other hand, if you vary your speech tones and use animations and passion to deliver your message, you can increase the chances that your audience will stay engaged and interested. By emphasizing the most important points and using vocal inflections to convey enthusiasm and excitement, you can help to create a sense of urgency and importance around your product. In addition, varying your speech tones can help to create a sense of rhythm and pacing in your presentation. You might use a slower, more deliberate tone to emphasize key points and then speed up your speech to convey urgency or excitement. By modulating your tone and pacing, you can create a more dynamic and engaging presentation that keeps your audience attention throughout. By varying your speech tones, you show that you are passionate, knowledgeable, and committed to delivering a compelling presentation. You'll be more likely to achieve your speaking goals, whether it is to persuade, inform, or entertain. Relate your topic back to your audience. Basically, stop talking about yourselves. Your audience might want to hear a testimony or two, but mostly they want to hear about them and how your presentation can help them. Imagine you are a leadership coach who has been asked to deliver a keynote address to a group of executives. Your topic is the importance of developing emotional intelligence in the workplace. If you spend your entire presentation talking about yourself and your own experiences with emotional intelligence, you risk losing your audience interest and engagement. They may feel like your message is irrelevant to their own situations, and they may tune out before you had a chance to make your case effectively. Instead, it's important to relate your topic back to your audience and their own needs and interests. You might highlight specific examples of how emotional intelligence can benefit their organizations, such as by improving communication, reducing conflict, and increasing employee engagement and retention. By focusing on your audience needs and interests, you'll be more likely to capture their attention and keep them engaged throughout your presentation. You show that you understand their priorities and challenges, and that you are committed to delivering value and results that are relevant to them. And you'll be more likely to achieve your speaking goals, whether that's to educate, motivate, or inspire your audience to take actions based on your recommendations. Solidify your message, support your ideas with data, evidence, and build a solid case for your viewpoints. You can use statistics, testimonies, demonstrations, pictures, and more. Your presentation can be foolproof if you take the time to minimize mistakes. By going through these key points, you can assure yourselves that you are well prepared for any challenge that might come your way and you will experience success you have always dreamed of. Imagine you are a climate scientist who has been asked to speak at a global conference on climate change. Your goal is to educate your audience on the science behind climate change and to motivate them to take action to reduce their carbon footprint. To achieve your goal, it's important to build a solid case for your viewpoints by using data and evidence to support your ideas. You might use statistics to illustrate the magnitude and scope of the climate crisis. You might use visual demonstration to help your audience understand the complex scientific concepts. In addition, you might use testimonies or case studies to help humanize the issues and make it more relatable to your audience. You might highlight real-world examples of the impact of climate change on individuals, communities, and explain how taking action can help to mitigate the effects of climate change and build a more sustainable future. By solidifying your message with data and evidence, you'll be more likely to persuade your audience to take action based on your recommendations. You show that you are knowledgeable, credible, and trustworthy, and that you're committed to delivering accurate and reliable information. And you'll be more likely to achieve your speaking goals, whether that's to educate, motivate, or inspire your audience to make a difference in the fight against climate change. In summary, to be a successful professional speaker, there are several key elements to keep in mind. It's important to take the time to prepare your presentation thoroughly, tailoring it to the needs and interests of your audience. You should arrive on time and dress appropriately, making a good impression and showing respect for your audience time and expectations. It's important to avoid information overload and to vary your speech tones to keep your audience engaged and interested. You should relate your topic back to your audience, using data and evidence to support your ideas and building a solid case for your viewpoints. And finally, it's important to avoid inappropriate humor and to have a backup plan in place of any unexpected challenges that may arise during your presentation. By following these key points, you can deliver a successful and impactful presentation that resonates with your audience and achieves your speaking goals. This is Michael. Thank you for your time.